We're going to talk about an entry-level DAC today. Something that comes with big sound in a small package, so stick around. Welcome back to the Thrift Shop. Thanks for stopping in. Today, we have the SMSL PS200 digital to analog converter DAC. That's right. So, if you've this is my first time to my channel, thanks for stopping in. If you've been around here a while, well, thanks for coming back. It's very important that the number one budget DAC that I recommend is the SMSL PS100. It's done great on my channel. I have a small channel. So if you can, please like, subscribe, help out the channel. Don't be a freeloader and just not like or subscribe to anyone's channels. With that out of the way, the PS100 is $29. It has HDMI ARC on it, so it's probably the cheapest or one of the cheapest DACs with good sound that you can just connect to your TV and control your amplifier with using your TV remote. You don't have to have a special remote for your amplifier. And I love that because I run most things that don't have a remote. So I'm running a Schiit in my main system with my Schiit Jotunheim as my preamp into the Schiit Azure, and you know, it's a great system connected to my TV. The PS100 is a thick DAC, so it's not about details and it's not clinical sounding. So when Schiit Audio, check them out on Amazon. I will drop a link. Again, affiliate link will cost you nothing, but helps the channel grow. Every couple bucks helps. And well, the PS200 here, I thought, okay, yeah, send it to me, Schiit Audio. I appreciate it. And let's take a listen. Since the PS100 is one of my favorite DACs for $29, I was surprised to see that the PS200 is $89 for the same size DAC. The difference is, I think the PS100, don't quote me on this, has the Sabre ES9023 or something like that DAC chip, where the PS200, basically, you're getting the DAC chip of much higher end DACs at an entry level price of $89. It is worth noting that it is 5% off right now, so I'll drop the link down below. So you'll save yourself $4 or $5 on that purchase, 85 bucks. And you're going to have yourself a nice DAC. This DAC, the PS200, goes away. It doesn't have HDMI ARC on it, which is a bummer because I would love to plug this into my system and kind of remove that PS100 and elevate the sound a little bit, because this is a much better sounding DAC, even though I love the PS100 for what it is for $29. This is a big step up in price, okay? So you could almost buy 3 of the PS100s for one of these, all right? So just putting things in perspective. But SMSL packed in the Sabre ES9039 Q2M DAC chip, which that's in a lot of very high-end DACs. Actually, it's in a lot of DACs. They've been using it. And depending on its implementation, the DAC chip can sound very good. I've heard it where the 9039 is too clinical. I've heard it where it's a little bit too thick. So it's all about the implementation. I think SMSL, who's been doing DACs for a long time, did a pretty good job with this DAC. This DAC has MQA, if that is something that you like. I really don't use MQA. So if you're streaming title and you have MQA, this can unfold title. This does DSD, I think, up to 512. It does PCM up to 768 kilohertz. So the PS100 was limited. It was, you know, couldn't handle that much bandwidth, where this, basically, you're getting a high-end DAC in a very small form factor. So while you may be saying, well, that PS100's, you know, $29, this is $89, I got to tell you, it's a lot more DAC, a lot more quality, a lot more sound quality. The resolution in here is outstanding. You do get optical out, coax out, and you can Bluetooth to this. So you pretty much got everything that you need from a DAC in a small form factor. Absolutely love it. As you can see, the only problem here is if your connections are a little bit too heavy, there's just not enough weight in this thing. So for me, obviously in this system here, I have the IEM Pro streamer here. connected to it, so I've been streaming from the Wii. Normally I have the Holo Audio Cyan 2, and the video probably came out a little bit ago before this one is the SMSL D400 DAC. So I had a $600 SMSL DAC in this place just before reviewing this DAC, and I gotta say, for $89, this may be my new budget reference. If it had HDMI ARC, hands down, the best DAC to get, sub $100. Just lost the functionality with HDMI ARC on it. So SMSL, if you're watching this, put HDMI ARC into this and you, hands down, will have one of the best DACs, sub $100, and that's it. Sound quality wise, I can't believe how it renders. A lot of times with cheaper DACs, you don't get great soundstage, and I gotta say with this, it's pretty darn good. Is it perfect? Is it like an R2R DAC? No, it's not on that same level, but it is pretty darn good. It is fairly neutral. You do get a nice thick bass to it. It's not as thick as the PS100, which is just thick, man. Scrumptious, I guess you want to put it in edible terms. Man, that thing is thick and great. PS200 is more clinical, something that probably audiophile snobs would really like a little more, you know, that refined sound. And I'm going to pop up some things here. Just listening to, I think, Seether sounded really, really good. Then I put it over to Theory of a Dead Man, and that's an acoustical song, and there's a lot of, because of its acoustic sound, you can hear kind of the reverberations of the guitar strings. You can hear the lead vocalist voice break up, and I think that's kind of, you know, every audiophile music enthusiast does things a little bit differently or likes certain things. To me, I think that's absolutely amazing when you get that kind of resolution quality that comes through. I had good layering and separation. Again, from a soundstage standpoint, it's not a flat 2D wall. It's not a three-dimensional soundstage like you know, other DACs can. Now, even with that said, you know, I am running a tube amp over here, so I do have the Music Share X7 in the rotation right now, and this has been taking over my. If you've been to my channel for a while, my Musical Fidelity M3SI, which I absolutely love and adore still. Just stuffed. It's not in my rack right now. So I've been using this, and usually with a, you know, a tube amplifier, you do get better soundstage, and you know, this is a great mix because this isn't, you know, again, to point this out, I'm getting kind of the resolution that you can go through a tube amp that sounds absolutely amazing. So if you get things that can be too warm, too thick, it just muddies up things, this is a very clean DAC to go to a tube amp and you get a beautiful sound out of. So I am amazed that for basically $89 you can get a DAC of this high quality, that small of a package. I think even from my, you know, some of the streamers that I've built, that some of the high-end clock cards aren't even, you know, a little bit bigger than that. So it's kind of amazing what can be packed into something so small. So hey, I highly recommend this for $89. Not just shilling something. If this is something that I would buy, I would tell you about it, and I am telling you about it, and this is something that is pretty wonderful. This will go into my budget list because it does sound better than the PS100. It sounds better than DACs that are probably, you know, if you go back 2-3 years ago, this would probably be the best DAC under $500. No bullshit, you know, put that all aside. This thing sounds amazing. So $89 in today's market, it is a good value. Again, if it had HDMI ARC, hands down would be the DAC to get under $100. You do have other choices out there. You're going to have to research those and see if you want those. But my recommendation is the PS200 from SMSL. Thanks. Appreciate you stopping in, watching my video. Hopefully you watched the whole thing. Why not? Just like, subscribe, hit the buttons. Cost you nothing. Hit that little button right down there, and I appreciate it. Peace.